Okay, today we're going to look at residence units, adding a resident unit for Rapid Housing, and placing someone in that unit. We're going to use the training program residential RRH program. Every Rapid Housing program in the system has been moved towards this. I'm going to try to answer all of the questions that I've received about this change. If I do not answer a question, please just reach out to me and I'll answer it for you. You have to give me the list of names of who's going to have permission before you can actually see this feature in awards. So if I go here, you see the tabs, you're going to go to administration, and you should be able to see system setup. If you do not see this, that means you do not have the permission. If I select that, I go down to the bottom and I select residence units. The unit for the client has to be created before you put in a move-in date on the phase sheet. So here you see there have been multiple units created. Some of them are occupied. The ones that are in read only have been occupied. Okay? When you're creating a new unit, you do not have to enter, if you're creating the very first unit, you do not have to enter a unit ID. All you have to enter is the address. So I'm going to put in here 1234 Fake Street. And I'm going to say apartment 6. And then I can say Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Zip code, county, first available date. The first available date will be the date that unit became available. You can put the first date on the lease, or you can put their client's move-in date. You need to make a decision as an agency. I would say that you would put the when the lease began. That's the date that you would put here. You don't want to put it before then because it's going to look like the client, that unit was available when no one was able to be in the unit. So you want to put it when the unit was actually available to be utilized. Okay, so gender, you can put either, smoke-free. We're going to scroll over. Last available date should only be entered when the client is discharged or the client just moves out. But that's when you should put last available date, because you don't want to show that you have those units available when they're not actually available to be used. Household type is, even though it doesn't have red asterisk beside these are required for reporting purposes. If you don't enter this in, it's going to kick back a lot of major reports, and it's going to say you've got to answer these. So here, if it's a household with no children, so no one under the age of 18, you're going to put household without children. If it has someone in the household under the age of 18 in it, you're going to put this here. Okay, facility-based. This says facility-based for this project, but for Rapid Housing programs, you're going to put other. Okay, you have year-round. Yours is going to be year-round because you're not seasonal nor overflow. Target population, you can just put NA. Participates in HMS is going to be the default, and so it'll just say yes because you do participate. And then client location, if you serve more than one COC, you'll have all of those COCs listed there. Wherever that unit is, that's the COC you need to select. Okay, so I'm going to go back over and I'm going to add one. So I've put in this and I've put in apartment 5. I have to enter that information there for it to save. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to select household with at least one adult and one child. And then I'm going to click update. Okay, so I want to add another one. The reason I want to add another one is because there's a child. I'll say that there's a child in the household. Okay, this is where some people get confused. So I'm going to click return to data entry. And here, it's this same unit. So say I have an adult. This is the head of household here. And this would be in this unit, apartment 5. But there's a child. So I want it to be the same address, but I want to be able to identify which bed it is. So here I'm going to copy that unit ID and I'm going to paste it there. The reason I'm doing that is because this is in one household. The household ID of each household has to be the same. So if you have multiple people in one house, their unit ID has to be the same. So here I'm going to type in the address, and then for apartment/bed, just because you are dealing with multiple beds in one unit, just to be able to associate that this is an additional person in the household, I'm going to put 5-1 or 5-2. It should pre-populate if you're continuing to add households. But I'm just going to go in and complete this. And it will not let you, so if this is the same unit ID, it's not going to let me put a household type like this. It's going to make me change it. Alright, so all of those are answered, and I'm going to click update. Okay, so to add someone, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to search for a client. I'm putting in the birth date because I think there's more than one person here, and I'm going to click search, and here's my client. So I'm going to search for my client. I'm going to go to the face sheet. So I'm going to go to training program, residential RH. I'm going to select face sheet. I'm going to scroll down, and here's where you see the move-in part. So I have to go below the section to click update. So I'm going to update HMS info, put my effective date of when the client moved in. I'm going to say yes, the client has moved in. Put the date they've moved in, and now you see the residence units are here. Okay, so when you see that, it's going to give you two drop downs. It's going to give you vacant units and then occupied units. Obviously, you're going to have to select the address that they're actually in. So if it's not listed here, that means it is not in residence units. So this client, because I put them in, I added the bed 1, 2, 3, 4, Fake Street, apartment 5. I'm going to select that one for the head of household, and I'm going to go down to the bottom and click update. Well, of course. Alright, so the client is in the bed now. So now what I would want to do for the child is go in, search for the child, and put their move-in date as well. Okay, that concludes our training.